Hey everybody, Pastor Matt here. It is good to see you on this Wednesday, December the 23rd. So, someone has said that this is also called Christmas Adam because Adam comes before Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. In case you didn't know, December 24th, it has snuck up on us quite a bit. So, we got 9 more days until we get into the new year, and it's exciting to think about what the new year holds. Although, we would say, looking back on this year, that to say it hasn't been ideal is probably one of the greater understatements of the year. But God's been doing some great things in the midst of this, and we are thankful for that. We are thankful for all that He has accomplished. He's brought new people into the church. He's allowed us to be thinking through better and more effective ways to be able to reach outside the four walls of the church, find ways to be able to connect with the community, find ways to be able to engage in certain ministries that we hadn't thought about before. Honestly, there are things that are happening here in 2020 that we're excited when we think about 2021 moving forward. So I just want to just remind you of some things that are coming up and just give you a little food for thought as we press on. So tomorrow we're having two Christmas Eve services, one at 3:30 and the other at 5:30. The digital one, the online live stream, will be at the 5:30. So if you're not able to go and join us in person, please join us at 5:30. It'll be great to see you. Please let us know that you're there, and we've invited folks in the community, and so hopefully, even if they aren't able to come in person, hopefully that they can check in online. It's just a strange thing. So yeah, again, 3:30. We got plenty of room for the 3:30 one. We probably have about 25 or 30 spaces left. The one for the 5:30 service, we probably have about a handful of spaces left. So just keep that in mind, and I'll be sure to put the link down at the bottom for you to be able to sign up for those services. But we're going to have to put a hard cap on some of these things until some of this lifts. And so Christmas Day, obviously, the office will be closed from December 25th through January the 1st. And so we just want you to bear that in mind and have just a wonderful Christmas. I am very much indebted to Sam Huckabee. I'm going to be taking a vacation week, but Sam Huckabee is going to be preaching for me on the 27th. And he's going to be preaching out of Romans 15, 1-7. You will be blessed. He's shown me the outline, and you're going to be blessed about how God is going to help us to be able to navigate and process the end of the year, but also thinking about how we move forward into the year to come. I'm very indebted to Sam on so many different levels. So, Sam, thank you. In January, believe it or not, yeah, January is coming up. We are going to be spending 4 of the 5 Sundays going through the book of Jonah. And one of the sermon titles that we've already come up with is, Will You Say No When God Says Go? Will you stay strong when you feel weak? There's so many things that we see when it comes to what Jonah has to say. The parallels on what Jonah was feeling and what was going on in his day. It's remarkable, the parallels between his day and our day, even though they are 2,600 years apart. But there's nothing that changes in man's soul, and so we can still find ways to be able to interject. And so what we're going to do, I don't have a copy of it right at hand. I didn't anticipate it, but what we're going to do is to give you study notes. So whenever we have a sermon series, we're going to give you study notes, and it may be month to month, or it may be for the whole sermon series. For instance, like Jonah, there's four studies there that are going to come and coincide with the 4 sermons. We want you to dig deeper into what you're learning, so you can be and make hopeful, joyful disciples of Jesus. Well, then in February, from February on, we are going to be in the book of Ephesians, which talks about the beauty and the glory of the church. And so Ephesians, that's going to take 19 sermons. And so there's going to be some study guides that'll go along with that, to where you'll read a piece from not only the text that we covered on Sunday, but you'll also read some other parallel passages that'll help you to dig deeper into what you heard on Sunday. It is of critical importance to us now that we are digging in as disciples of Jesus. Now, I'm going to dig in more on that with our Vision Talk fellowship that we're going to have Sunday. It's going to be Sunday, January the 3rd at 5 p.m. We're hoping to have where it's open to folks in person, but we're also going to be able to live stream it as well because we want to have some of that interaction. We've got to think about 2021 very strategically moving forward. We're not going to be able to do everything that we had been doing pre-COVID. In fact, there's some things, again, we have picked up that I think it's better for us to make sure that we're utilizing, that we want to make sure that we have not only a compelling vision, which we have, but we also have some ministries that are compelling for people to engage in. And if that's not the case, and folks aren't going to engage, and we've got to make sure that we are getting back to the Great Commission, not the Great Complacency like we had before, as far as the American church, but the Great Commission. So just some things to think about. Now, there's 5 Sundays in January. So what's that other Sunday? Because I mentioned that on January we're going to spend 4 of the 5 Sundays. Well, then there's going to be Sanctity of Life Sunday on January the 17th. And again, we're going to invite someone from Alternatives Pregnancy Center here in the city to be able to come and to speak at both of our services and to be able to share a little bit about their ministry. And we're going to find some ways. I don't know if we're going to do baby bottles this year to be able to collect, but to collect and raise extra resources and funds for them. But we're going to try and find something. But again, that's allowing us to do this. So one last thing before I go. If you're coming in person to the Christmas Eve service, I'm going to ask you to bring a pair of thick socks. We are collecting socks for the homeless here in Centennial, and I would love it. We have a box that's in the foyer. I would love it if you could bring in a pair of socks. You say, "Well, I've already brought some in." We'll bring some more socks in. I am very thankful for Denise Berry's class for initiating that, and part of our leaders retreat, which I'll talk about later. I'm not going to add that here, but part of our leaders retreat when we have it in January, that's going to be one of the things is what are some things that we can do to make sure that we're continuing to connect with our community and do something every single month for that. So if there's any questions, let me hear them from you, and we'll make sure that we're pressing on well. Let me tell you what we're going to be preaching on, and I'll close with this. Galatians chapter 4, verses 4 to 7. This is the passage that we're going to cover at Christmas Eve. But when the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under the law, to redeem those who were under the law, so that we might receive adoption as sons. And because you are sons, God has sent the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying, Abba, Father. So you are no longer a slave, but a son, and if a son, then an heir through God. Even in the middle of that epistle to the Galatians, the Apostle Paul gives us a Christmas passage. We are grateful for that. We are grateful for all that Christ has done on our behalf, coming to the earth and coming to earth in order to die in our place, be raised from the dead, to be interceding for us as he ascended back to the Father. One day he's coming again. What a glorious day that'll be. God bless you all. Thanks for allowing me this update with you. Take care.